Hey, what is going on, hustle buddies? All right, you guys know the drill. Let me know if you can see me and hear me. All right, welcome everybody. My name is Nate here with Hustle Buddies, where we share tools, tips, and advice for Amazon sellers. And I am jumping on tonight to do some live Amazon to Amazon sourcing, A2A sourcing. This is where you are buying something from Amazon and flipping it right back onto Amazon. All right. Debbie, welcome. Yeah, I love those backgrounds too. I'm a big gardening guy. I call it my midlife crisis, but yeah, I love the plant backgrounds. All right, so I'm going to be taking you guys through some Amazon to Amazon sourcings. Now, I have set a bunch of filters here. If you are signed up for Sourcing Camp, which is starting this Friday, I'm going to be giving you all of my filters, all of my parameters, all of my A2A frameworks that I utilize to start my A2A sourcing. You get all of that for free if you are signed up for Sourcing Camp. Okay. If you're not, you can watch this video and maybe you can kind of fiddle around and come up with some stuff yourself. But I'm doing that as just sort of like a free extra bonus for the people who are signed up for Sourcing Camp. Now, if you have not heard of Sourcing Camp, I've been doing these live videos every single night for the past week. So we've got tonight, and then tomorrow is going to be the very last one of these. We do them every single night here at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And it's all sort of trying to show you guys what Sourcing Camp is going to be. Sourcing Camp is starting on Friday, and it's going to be a couple hundred sellers, I believe, coming together. We've got 13 different, we call them camp counselors. These are 6, 7, or 8-figure annually active Amazon sellers. So it's not like gurus. It's not people who are just like talking the talk or whatever and blowing smoke. Okay, these are people with active businesses that we have contacted, and we asked them, hey, would you be willing to just source with us? Could we watch you do what you do on a day-to-day basis and then maybe pick your brains while you're doing it? So we've got 13 camp counselors who are coming in. Every single one is going to be sourcing in a different way. We've got people doing Amazon to Amazon flips. We've got people doing storefront stocking, people using zero tools at all, people using tons of tools like tactical arbitrage or new ones like Nepeto, things like that. All right, so there's so many different styles, so many different methods, so many different ideas of how to come at sourcing. So that's what Sourcing Camp is. It's a 10-day event. There's going to be over 30 hours of content. We've got like raffle prizes. I think we're up to over $6,000 worth of raffle prizes that we're giving away. So it's going to be a great time. I hope most of you guys are going to be there. And we are actually also including the Amazon to Amazon Flips Challenge. It's a new class by Chris Grant and Saul that they just put out. Anyone who signs up for Sourcing Camp gets the entire A2A Flips Challenge completely for free. Okay, so even more bonuses on bonuses on bonuses on bonuses. All right, now that that's all out of the way, let me do some A2A sourcing. If you guys have any questions while I am going along with this, feel free to drop them in the chat. I will try to periodically stop and check my questions, make sure everyone's still with me and all of that. But if you have questions about what I'm doing, about A2A flipping, about Sourcing Camp, or even if you just have issues with your own Amazon business, you've got me for about the next 30 minutes, okay? So I am all yours. Think of this like a coaching call, okay? So if you've got issues, you've got questions, let me know, okay? Let me just double check real fast. Let's see, All Out Thompson's all signed up. We are 6-figure sellers, and we can't wait to scale. Awesome. Yep, looking forward to seeing you guys on Friday. FBA stay focused. Excellent. No worries. All right. Yep. Chris, I see you. Dale, I see you. Everyday Unicorns. They're one of our counselors who's coming in, and they love to use no tools. They don't even use a repricer. I kind of make fun of them all the time for that, but it is what it is. There's a million ways to make $1 million on Amazon. So who am I to judge, right? Let's see, Hene, if you do A2A, do you have to make sure you are ungated for that category? Or will you be automatically able to sell the product since it's coming from Amazon? It's a little bit of B, because you can get ungated using Amazon invoices. You're not automatically done, so like you still need to jump through those hoops, but it's usually pretty simple, pretty straightforward. Yeah, it's not just for sourcing. There's education, money saving tips. Yeah, I'm doing a whole thing on like budgeting and financing, like looking towards like your end goal, not like your Amazon or your year-end goal, but like, why are you doing this? Let's run those numbers and figure out, okay, when can you stop doing this? When can you like retire or do like work optional? All right. Let's see. Dale, my first A2A purchase I haven't received, and now the item is no longer listed. Interesting. I'm curious if you then try to list it, what would happen? Because sometimes when things are like completely out of stock, Amazon just takes it down. But as soon as someone tries to list it again, it's sort of like the listing has been ghosted. That's what we call them. As soon as another person tries to list it again, it just propagates back in. So I'm curious if that's what's happening or if there's something else going on. All right. And then over on YouTube, someone asking about Nike, Nintendo, and Adidas being restricted. Yeah, so I just did a video about that a couple weeks ago. I would say check my YouTube video. We talk a bit about all of those things. Okie dokie. Okay, let me share my screen here. I'll share my entire screen. That'll probably be the easiest way to do this. All right. Okay. So what we are going to do here now, if you guys didn't know this, you can bookmark a Keepa search. So if you go to keepa.com and we're going to use the Keepa Product Finder, KPF, for today to find some A2A leads. So to get to the Keepa Product Finder, KPF, you go to Keepa and then Data and then Product Finder. Now, once you get some parameters or something that you generally like and that you're generally finding success with, you can save that. So just for kicks real fast, let's say, all right, I'm going to look for something where it's no sales rank, but the new offer count is at least 3 sellers. So this is going to eliminate most of the private label stuff. And I would like the bought in the past month to be 50 plus. All right. So we've got 24,000 products that we can look for. Sure. We'll just go with that. So you could click find products here. And then if you look up in your URL bar, the search bar up here, you can save this. You can copy, like I can copy and paste this and send it right into chat, or you can press this little star button and add it to your bookmarks. So we've bookmarked lots of things, and I can add this to like my A2A bookmark section. But I save these parameters, I save these frameworks so that A, I can use them, and B, I can share them with other people in things like the sourcing camp, okay? So I'm gonna exit out of that, and I'm going to, I'll bring up a couple of my parameters. Let me pull this first one up. Okay, so I try to name my frameworks with roughly the type of thing that I'm looking for or the specific nuances. And there's so many different nuances with Amazon to Amazon. There's so many different types of things that you could find. I find it helpful to kind of narrow down my searches to specific types. So for this one, if you watched our video, I think it was 2 days ago, I looked for items where normally the buy box is like way up here, let's say like 20 bucks or something like that. And then if and when Amazon comes into stock, they're way down here at like $10 or less, okay? And I want Amazon to mostly be out of stock. This is a similar search, except in that previous video, I was just filling our pipeline. It's like I wasn't looking for stuff today. I was looking for stuff where I could keep alerts and come back to it later. Now, I want to find stuff today. I want to find stuff where Amazon is currently in stock. They're usually not in stock, and the buy box price is usually significantly higher, okay? So we're going to click through. We just have a couple. The parameters for this one are pretty tight, so this will go pretty fast. We can kind of check through these things quickly to see if anything pops out to us. I'm looking, really when I'm sourcing, I'm usually looking for red flags first, because if I see a red flag, then I just stop. I'm not looking for like good signs. I'm looking for the bad signs, because the faster I can rule something out, the faster I can move on to the next product, because not every product is going to be a winner. In fact, 99% of what you find are going to be losers. All right, so today this is going for $2.50. I see the average 90-day buy box is $22. So that seems good. Let me check some things though. All right, so Amazon has been in stock since like June 8th at this $2.50. They are in stock a lot earlier in the year at like $50, 4-count pack of 1. Now, here's what I think happened with this. I think that the quantity count has been getting changed around and fiddled around, because there is absolutely not a chance that this item had a sales rank of 7,000 and sold consistently as a single box of 4 of these wipes selling for $50. That's just not No, that stuff can sell for a lot, but that's unreasonable. That's not realistic. So I think something got changed around. I wouldn't buy this expecting to flip it for a lot. Maybe I could flip it for like 8 or 9. So I see back here the price is like $7.99 or $8.50. Let me put in $8.50 here, and I put our buy cost at $2.49. All right, so you actually could still make a little bit of money because this is so small and cheap. All of your like seller fees, all of that stuff, it's all incredibly low. So you could make a little bit of money here. I will. I mean, it's basically 100% ROI. This I call this kind of like a box stuffer. If you need to just fit a couple more things into a box or something, we can add that. All right, so I will add this to our master lead list sheet right here. If you guys have not gotten this link yet, ask for this in chat. This is a Google link. Since we've been doing these videos every single night, I've been adding to this free lead list sheet for you guys every single night, so you can follow along with me. If you want the link to this, ask for it in chat. I can share it in a second. Yeah, my voice is a bit choppy. Oh, my mic's working. I've got a better mic on the way, but I don't know if it's going to make it by the time sourcing camp starts. So I'm doing the best I can here. Okie dokie. So that one's I mean, not a slam dunk home run. I don't love it. Really small numbers, like you're making $2 on it, but it's something, and it's 100% ROI. Turning $2 into $4, like okay, it's decent. All right, let's click on this next one. This looked the same. I'm wondering, yeah, it's the same listing. It's just the 4-count pack of 1 versus the 12-count pack of 1. So let's look at the history on this as well. I'm going to imagine this one's not going to be profitable because it's not going to be small and light and hit those same things. Okay, so when Amazon was back here, yeah, so it was going for like 11 or 12, and now they're selling it for like $4. They've been in stock for quite a while. I have no reason to think that they are, let's see, it says they have 27 in stock. This isn't always accurate. Yeah, I don't know. I'm not loving this. And even if I do flip that, like let's say we buy it and then we flip it for 12, what kind of profit are we actually looking at? And we're buying it for $4.19. It's like, yeah, it's $2, 55% ROI. Like it hits our parameters, but this is a little bit more high risk in my opinion, because I just don't know about Amazon going out of stock again. I don't really see a whole lot of the history there. I think something probably got messed up with the sizing on this one as well. Because yeah, again, no one is buying this 12 wipes for $50. That's just not reasonable. So it's a maybe. I wouldn't fault you if you flipped this. I probably personally wouldn't do it. I'm not going to say it's like a hard pass, but it's kind of on the line for me. Right? I'm kind of leaning away from it. All right, let's look at the next thing. I'm trying to go through this a little bit fast because I promised you guys I would find you at least 5 A2A flips tonight. All right, so we've got a charcoal screen thing. We had a similar product like this here at our house. Okay, historically, it's usually going for between about 20 and 24. And just for the past couple days, it's going for $4. So cheap. And there's 3 in stock right now. So let's flip this around. Let's say that we can sell this for $20. And we are buying it for this $4.79. What kind of profit are we looking at? $1 of profit. So this must be really large. Yeah, 38 by 81. So this is going to be 38 inches across. So it is large. Yeah, so this says large, bulky. And this says the package dimensions are 24. I don't know how they fit 24 into a 30. Oh, it's probably extendable. That's interesting. Huh. Well, yeah, I mean, it's a good deal. If you need something like this for your house, this is a great deal. But for flipping, I think we're going to pass. Just the fees are just so high, there's not enough profit there. All right, let's go on to the next one. All right, some Pepsodent, not, it's like denture cleaner stuff. I don't think this is Oh, it is toothpaste. Whitens teeth. All right. Okay, so we're going to flip this around with $6 there. I'm looking over here at this bar. It says the average 90-day is 1566. So is it profitable? No, it wouldn't even be profitable. All right, so don't bother moving on, or don't bother looking further. Just go ahead and move on, because your best case, it's not profitable. Okie dokie. We've got whatever kind of plug thing this is. I'm not sure what this is used for. By Milton Industries. Okay. Oh, hang on a second. Interesting. Okay, so in case you guys didn't notice this, the average 90-day right here is 16, and our price is like 18 right now. Okay, it's 13.55 plus 4 shipping. So it's like, why did this pull up in my results? So if you notice down here, it says other sellers on Amazon, new. I'm going to click on this and look at this. Amazon is selling this for $5.87. For all of you people here, let me. I'm going to make myself. I want you to see me real fast. Okay, how do I stop sharing? Okay, for everyone who says you cannot compete against Amazon, you won't get the sales. I want you to look at this listing. I want you to see that the buy box that I see as a real organic seller is $18, and that Amazon is trying to sell it, and they're in stock right now for $5. Okay, so hopefully this helps flip that switch in your brain that gets you off of this whole like, oh, you can't list against Amazon. That is not a real thing. Okay, I sell against Amazon all day, every day. It's literally not a metric that I look at. Okay, back to the listing. I'll step back off my soapbox. Entire screen. There we go. Okay. That should pull up here, right? Yeah. Okay. So if we can buy this for $5.87, and the buy box that we see is right here, $5.87. What kind of profit are we looking at? 100% ROI, $6 of profit. Boom. There is a, I would say this is probably a winner. I do see, there's one, in this situation, I would call it a yellow flag. Now, it's not a full red flag just because of what this is, but a yellow flag. I see that this is a Milton something, something, something style plug. And who is the current seller of it? It's currently Milton. For the most part, especially if you're like a beginner seller, if you see a listing and the brand themselves are trying to sell it, usually you're going to avoid that. However, for this, one, because of the type of product this is probably not something that's really highly contested and sought over. They probably don't really care about their like MAP pricing, and they're probably not watching too closely about the whatever, like the listings of their random plugs. Okay. So that's sort of the first caveat. The second one is when I look historically, if you look at the new offer count, there are frequently 3, 4, 5, 6, up to 7 sellers of this. If they were really policing this and playing dirty and sending IP complaints and sending inauthentic complaints and complaining to Amazon and doing all these bogus whatever, you wouldn't see this many sellers. You might see like 6 or 7 sellers, and then all of a sudden it goes to 1 and then stays at 1. But because there's a bunch of new offers coming in and out and in and out and in and out, I'm not too worried about this. Yeah, if I see Amazon is often down here at $5, but the buy box is often up here. So yeah, that's super interesting. So yeah, you could probably get this. This could be FBA or FBM, a box of 10. If this weighs under, let's see, shipping weight. This says it's a half a pound. So if it weighs a half a pound, then it'll cost you about $5 to ship this. If you're doing FBM. I'm going to change my shipping charges there to FBM. So yeah, you can do this either way, FBM or FBA. Both of them make you money. So I like it both ways. I'll add this to our sheet. This would be something, if I was not on video, this would be something that I would be pulling the trigger on. All right, we've got 2 more on this. And then if these are duds, I'll have to switch gears and go to a different framework parameter that I've preset. All right. I'll check these two and then I'll do some questions as well. Make sure there's nothing I've missed so far. If you guys have questions about anything, drop them into the chat. Or if you want to check out Sourcing Camp while I'm doing this, there's a QR code in the top left-hand corner of your screen way up there. You can go ahead and scan that while we're talking about this. Okie dokie. So yeah, historically interesting. So yeah, I see since about May or so, this has been selling for like 44. But if you notice, so okay, the green bar right here, this is the sales rank. This is sort of our indicator for how frequently this is selling. We don't know exactly how much it's selling, but we know that if the sales rank is moving, that it is selling, okay? When we notice the price get jacked up from $3 all the way up to $40, notice what happens to the sales rank. It stops moving up and down and up and down and up and down, and then it starts looking like a hill, and then a sale, and then a hill, and then a sale, and then a hill, and then maybe one or two sales. And actually, there's two different ones of these, so it could be either one of these that are getting those sales. Since the price has jumped, this is selling maybe like once a week between both of these listings, as opposed to back here where it's selling like every day. Okay. So yeah, you might be able to flip this 100 count pack of 12. Let's see, 100 count, 12 of those. Yeah, I mean, you might be able to. I'd be kind of on the line about this. Here, I'll punch the numbers in just for kicks. It says the average. Well, that's wonky because we have super high and then super low. If we put an average at, say, we'll use like $40. All right, and we're buying this for $409. Yeah, you could make some decent money. We are relying on two things, however. We are, one, relying on this getting a sale when the price is multiplied, is 1,000% higher. We're also relying on the 100 count pack of 12 being what they're actually trying to sell here, because this is another case where it could, like, someone could be kind of messing with the quantities here. Yeah, so when the price is high, it sells a little bit, but just not very often. If you pull the trigger on this, this is one of those, like, you buy one of them and that's it. Okay, I would not be going deep on this at all. All right. Personally, I'll probably pass on this. I don't want to I feel like it would be sort of a cop out to add this to our sheet. You know, it'd inflate all of our like average ROI numbers and the profit numbers. I think it's kind of a cop out. I probably wouldn't be buying this myself. If you would buy this, I'm not going to fault you because I'm sort of on the line about this. Let me know what you think in the chat if you would buy this or if you would pass. But I think I will personally pass. All right, and let's check this last one here. Close out some of these windows, and then I'll get to some questions, and then we'll try to shift gears, change our framework, change our settings around, and see what else we can find. Okay, Bizzle Power Shot. So this will be hazmat because it is an aerosol can. Make sure you are approved to sell hazmat. If you're not approved to sell hazmat, go and like do the little hazmat course and apply to the hazmat wait list. Because yeah, it's just good to have that. Even if you don't plan on utilizing it, it's good to have that unlocked. So yeah, this would be one. If the numbers work out, this would be one that I would set a keep alert for, because you notice this bar every time here. I'll turn off this this pink bar and I'll turn off all of this stuff. Yeah, so you see these little orange lines. This is Amazon coming into stock at $8, and then you see this blue bar. This is everybody else at $18, and it keeps happening. Like once a week, Amazon pops in, then they sell out, then they go out of stock, and the cycle continues over and over and over. And this just happens very, very, very consistently. So I think I can reasonably, and now the price has dropped down to like $11 recently. It's very steady the whole rest of the year. Let's see, this is back in like 2021. So yeah, it's been this way for about 2 years, where it's consistently about $18, $19. I'm gonna put, I'll put 18 in here. And then Amazon, when Amazon does come in stock, they are selling it for $7.99, right? Oh, $6.99 for that one. All right, $6.99. And now it appears, yeah, you can make a little bit of money. This one probably wouldn't be worth it FBA because your hazmat stuff is going to be shipped by itself. And so instead of the normal, like we tell people estimate like 50 cents per pound to ship it into Amazon. And that's about average. However, if you just have a couple hazmat things, they are going to be in a box by themselves. So you might have like 5 of these cans that take up an entire box, and that entire box is the box has a base cost of like $10 at least. So if the box costs $10 and you only have 5 of these in there, okay, well now your shipping costs went from 50 cents a pound to $2 a pound because you're shipping like 5 pounds of stuff. Yeah, so I would probably pass on this. I mean, you might be able to do an FBM. Make sure you understand the rules for like shipping hazmat stuff, FBM and all of that, but maybe there's some profit there to be made. Not if you're paying $12 of shipping. If you can get your shipping down to closer to like 5, then yeah, maybe there's something. But yeah, and Amazon is out of stock right at the moment because it's hazmat. The numbers they're too small for this to make sense for me again. So I'll probably pass on that one as well. We found a couple things for you guys. Whoops, computer's having a seizure again. Found a couple things for you here we've added to the list. I'm going to take some questions. Wow, this is struggling. We are just looking at a blank screen right now. And it's probably because I'm trying to like triple stream. I try to stream this in 3 different locations. All right. So I'm going to, I'll pop back here. I'm going to stop sharing my screen. Hopefully that'll help things. And let me take some questions once my screens are all back. What tools am I using? I'm using 2 tools right now. So I was using Keepa. This is non-negotiable. Everyone needs to use Keepa. Number 1 most used, most needed tool. There's nothing that's like required to have for Amazon. All you need to sell on Amazon is an Amazon account. Nothing else is required. Keepa is as close as you will ever get to a tool that's required. If there's any tool that says, oh, you can use us instead of Keepa, run away from that tool because they are lying. They don't know what they're talking about. There is nothing that does what Keepa does. Absolutely nothing. All right, so Keepa is the first one. And then that on-screen calculator that I use, it's called ASIN-Zen. If you want a link to either of those, I have coupon codes for ASIN-Zen. So if you want to link to that, FBA, stay focused, let me know and I can send that over to you. All right, let's see. All right, I'm going over to my Facebook questions and then I'll get my YouTube questions over here. No, I don't use SellerAmp. I dislike SellerAmp. In my opinion, that is the worst of the on-screen calculators. ASIN-Zen and SellerAmp are very similar. Those 2 are like direct competitors. ASIN-Zen, in my opinion, beats it on pretty much every level. Better features, faster features, and it's cheaper. And I like the owners better. SellerAmp loses on all of those fronts, but it looks prettier, and SellerAmp pays you significantly higher affiliate marketing fees. So there's a lot more influencers and Instagrammers and YouTubers and blah, 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 who push out SellerAmp. That's my opinion why it got so popular. They make it more expensive so that they can then pay affiliates to promote it. So you're sort of paying other people's salaries just to be promoted to, if that makes sense. All right. Let's see. Okay, Dale on Facebook says, you mentioned you don't mind buying from third-party sellers. I'm assuming A2A. What is the reason some don't? Is it because Amazon doesn't like it or because it's hard to trust some third-party sellers? The reason other people don't like it is because they've been told that they can't. And it's just simply not true. In my opinion, it is no more risky. I think people don't do it because of a lack of understanding of what it is. Yeah, and I'll say this as well. The only people I have ever heard who discourage people and say, oh, you can't buy from third-party sellers, the only people I have ever heard say that are the people who are not actually doing A2A flipping personally. They just teach things, okay, or they make content or videos about it. all of the people that I know, including myself, and also the other people as well. Like this isn't just from me. Everyone else that I know who actually does Amazon to Amazon flipping as a decent part of their business, we all buy from third-party sellers. And all of us have gotten IP complaints, counterfeit complaints, inauthentic complaints, you name it, complaints. And all of us have used our third-party order forms from Amazon to successfully beat those. 100% of the time. I have yet to lose. Like sometimes you might submit an invoice or a receipt and Amazon kind of kicks it back and they can be a little bit finicky. I have the highest success rate with Amazon to Amazon order forms over anything else, including wholesale invoices. So yeah. Let's see. It's just a day that you're disappearing. The previous ones were fine. Yeah, I'm not sure. Maybe, I don't know if my connection is going funky or if it's your connection. Yeah, Colleen says it's clear for her. Oh, can you have the Google link? Yes, I'll share that page for you here. All right, there's a link to the Google Sheet that we are inputting all of our leads to. And then a couple people were asking about the ASIN Zen. Let me grab that for you real fast. Hold up a minute. Let me see. Give me like 2 minutes so I can do some digging. I don't have my links right here in front of me. And it's one of the, like, people have like tried to call me out like, oh, Nate, you just diss them because you want to promote your own thing. Listen, I'm not connected to ASIN Zen at all. I have an affiliate link for Seller Amp and I have an affiliate link for ASIN Zen. And I solely promote one of those two and frequently discourage the use of the other one. I would make more money if I did not do that. And if I promoted Seller Amp, I would make significantly more money. But I don't, because I find it to be a inferior tool. All right, this is the link for ASIN Zen right there. And there is a coupon that is embedded in this link already. All right, you got it. Stay focused over there on Instagram. All right, sent it over your way. Sent it over to the Facebook folks as well. All right, shift those screens around. Okay, let me see if there were other questions here. Would it have been worth checking whether that 6-pack of toothpaste could be resold as singles? Yeah, that is an excellent idea. I'm going to hold that thought. As soon as I'm done with the questions, I'm going to circle back and I'm going to check that real fast. That's a great idea, Debbie. When you're doing A2A flips, it is very common and a great way to do it where you either debundle or rebundle. Like you buy multiples of the single packs and you turn it into a 6-pack, or you buy the 6-pack and then you sell it as the singles. So yeah, with my scatterbrain trying to do a million things at once, I did not do that, Debbie, but good call out. I will circle back and I will try that. Let's see, David. Yeah, you were talking about the brand selling that. So I think we talked about that. The Milton item doesn't ship till 7:15 to 30. Does that change your opinion about it? That doesn't change my A2A flipping opinion on it. That would be a strong indicator why Amazon does not give themselves the buy box. Yeah. All right. There we go. Let's do. Okay. So we got all the questions over there. Let me just double check. YouTube. Sounds pretty clear on YouTube. Great. Just started online arbitrage. Pretty overwhelmed at all the restrictions when it comes to selling. Yeah, that's the biggest. Like, so hurdle number one, you've already overcome. You've started. Okay, you beat out about 95% of the population of the internet who reads about this or hears about. I mean, there's like NBC articles where like literally millions of people read about exactly what I do and how I do it. This is not a like super complicated business. You go to Walmart or wherever and you find items that are cheap and you flip them on Amazon and all of the data is right in front of you. Okay, so it's very simple business. It's hard work, however. So the first big obstacle, you've already overcome it. You started, okay? Most people get in this like analysis paralysis or the fear of failure and they don't even start. You've already overcome that. Give yourself a round of applause. You are more than halfway there. The second big hurdle is feeling like everything is restricted. A couple things here. Over time, less and less stuff gets restricted. That is true. Once you're selling about 6 months and you're doing about $10,000 per month, most things open up for you. Like we're talking like 90-95% of all the brands just start automatically ungating for you. Okay. Now you can, in the meantime, you can get ungated and stuff. You can send in like wholesale invoices, or you can get invoices from Amazon. I've made lots of videos about how to get ungated in specific things. What I recommend for ungating, get a few large categories. So for example, like if you are restricted for selling, say, grocery, unlock the grocery category. If you are restricted in selling, I don't know, beauty topical stuff, maybe get ungated in beauty topical stuff. Okay. Don't worry too much about the nitty gritty brands like this brand, because I mean, there's millions of brands that are going to be gated out there. If there's a large brand that you find a significant amount of profit for in a store, so maybe you go to Kohl's and you see this whole shelf of Nike products, and you're like, man, if I was ungated, like I see $1,000 of profit here, and I know this is $1,000 of profit. In those situations, all right, then it might be worth getting ungated in Nike. It'll probably cost you like $200, maybe $300 to get a Nike invoice with 10 units on it. Send that to Amazon, good to go. Okay. The other thing that I recommend doing is figuring out what you are not restricted in. What is completely wide open? So for example, like I used the grocery category earlier. If you're ungated in the category of grocery, there are not very many specific brands of grocery products that are restricted. There's a few, but it's pretty rare. So once you sort of get ungated in grocery, well, now you can check like every aisle. Go to your local, like I live in Florida, we have Publix. Maybe you live up north and there's a Meijer, or you're over in Texas and there's, what do they call it? PH something or other. I forget the name of the store, but like your local grocery stores where they have those buy one, get one free sales. All right. Check those things. You'll start to get a hang of it as you do this more and more and more for what are you restricted in that you can just start avoiding so you don't have to keep scanning everything, and what kinds of stuff are you generally unrestricted in, and you start looking for that. So that's my advice to you, Pat. Do I have a class on how to use the Keep a Product Finder? Yeah. Yes, that's what Sourcing Camp is. So on Friday, we are doing Sourcing Camp. I personally am doing, I think, 3 different hour-long sessions for using Keepa to source, using the Keepa Product Finder and everything in it. So yes, and that's me personally. I know at least one other camp counselor, possibly 2, and actually possibly 3, that will also be using the Keepa Product Finder to also find stuff. So yes, if you want to learn like a really huge deep dive about Keepa, come to Sourcing Camp. There's a QR code right over here. Okay, you can scan that. If you can't scan it, like if you're watching from your phone, just write in chat that you need the link to Sourcing Camp and I will send it to you. The doors close tomorrow night at midnight because it starts on Friday and I got to get everybody into camp before I can actually start it. All right. I switched from SellerAmp to ASIN. Yeah, all right. I like to hear it. It doesn't really, like, again, I don't have ownership of either company, so it doesn't really matter to me. And I'm not going to say SellerAmp is like bad. It's like, all right, do you want to eat macaroni and cheese that's Kraft, or do you want to eat macaroni and cheese that's like the Meijer brands? Like, well, it's about the same, okay? I'm not really going to like super fault you for one, but yeah. I just feel like they didn't need to make the tool, and they made it look really nice, but then they made it more expensive than all the other tools out there. They didn't actually fix any problems. And I have a hunch that the creators are about to do it again come tomorrow night. They say they're releasing something else. We'll see about that. I haven't yet to see them release something that actually solved problems that weren't solved by other tools already. Do you have the leads spreadsheet? Oh, yes. Let me share that over here on the YouTube channel. There you go. Let's see. I just started with Amazon. I bought the equipment, as you mentioned, tried to ungate some categories, but still feel lost and confused. I mean, yeah, everyone is going to feel lost and confused. Think about it like this, okay? We all went to high school. I'm assuming most people here graduated from high school, and many of us looked at going to college. For those of us who went to college, we were told, okay, you guys, you need all this training to go out into the real world to get a real job. So here's college. It's going to cost you about $30,000 a year, so $120,000 for 4 years. It's going to take you 4 years to get there. And then once you graduate, you'll kind of get an entry-level job, and maybe you can work your way up in a company. Okay, now take Amazon. Think of it in that same frame of mind. Is this going to take you $100,000 of tuition to learn? No. Is this going to take you 4 years to learn? No. After 4 years, are you going to try to get an entry-level job? No. This will probably take you maybe 3 to 6 months to sort of get your feet under you and feel like you're not completely lost. And then probably another like year or two before you actually feel comfortable and it's like, okay, I kind of have my bearings now. So it'll take a little bit to get used to it, but it doesn't cost you $120,000. You're making money while you're doing it. Everyone feels lost. You are not alone. Absolutely everyone, when they start this, no one knows how to sell stuff on Amazon. It's not like, oh yeah, I went to high school and I learned how to do this, or oh yeah, I took a college class on A2A flipping. Like that's just not a thing. So yeah, you will get better. If you want help, if you want support with that, check out Sourcing Camp. Sourcing is this business. Everything else is supportive to that. If you get good at finding profitable products, everything else will fall into place. You can learn repricing, you can learn shipping and all of that. But the meat of this business, the real core, is how good are you at finding profitable products? All right, okay. I think that's the questions for now. Let me do a little bit more sourcing. I promised you guys that I would find 5, and I've only found 2 so far. So let me try to change things up. I'm going to change my parameters around, and we will see if I can find anything else. All right, I'm probably going to do something a little bit wider this time. And let me share my screen here. And while I'm going, feel free, continue asking me questions. This one's going long. I was only planning on being here like 30 minutes. We're already at 42 minutes, and I still haven't found my stuff. All right, let me share my screen here. Hopefully I can find some stuff quickly because I don't want to break my promise to you guys. Okay, so for this one, let's see. I did this. Okay, so for this, I selected stuff that was the lowest price it has ever been. There's a button in Keepa that you can select where you just check it, and this is the lowest price this product has ever been. So I checked that, and then I also selected that the average 90-day price be $20 or above. There's a couple other things in there, like I wanted like multiple sellers to try to get rid of a lot of private label stuff, things like that. So like new offer count, most of these are going to have multiple sellers. The couple that don't are going to be things like Adidas or Speedo, where this is not a private label product. You can sell this just fine. All right, we will start from the top and work our way down. Hopefully we can find a couple things. Okay, this first one, is this a swim? Oh, nope. I thought this was a swimming cap. This is a vinyl. Vinyls they're kind of a niche of their own. I've sold a couple, not a lot of them. You do need to like package this well. Obviously, people who are ordering vinyls, they don't want it to be all cracked and broken when they get it. So you do need to package it nicely. But if there's enough room on this, I'd be okay flipping this. All right, so our buy cost there is 12. The average buy box is $33.46. Let's check it out. All right, pretty good. 70% ROI, $8.25 profit. Pretty consistent price. The third-party seller price is consistently 28. Amazon's consistently 34 to 37. And something with this new price where it says the new price is $28. Keepa does a very poor job of accounting for shipping fees if it's FBM. So most likely these are FBM sellers selling it for 28 plus $8 of shipping or whatever it is. So that would be why the buy box is up here at 34. All right, so yeah, if we can sell this for between 30 and 34, and we are buying this for 12, there's some good profit there. Yeah, it's definitely selling, definitely profitable. Not too much competition here. Yeah, all in all, I like it. I don't really see any giant red flags. Maybe you guys spot something that I don't, but I'm happy with this. Let me share this to my list here. All right, pop back into Keepa. Go to the next one. This one, I've never heard of this. I tend to be like a little bit skeptical with some of these. Yeah, okay. So I tend to be a little bit skeptical with some of these like dress brands and things like that, where like I've never heard of this brand. It sounds like a made up like Chinese private label word, but I saw on Keepa that there's 7 sellers of it. Okay, so I am gonna check it out. And right off the bat, I see that this is sold and shipped by, this is going to be like a random Chinese drop shipper. Yep, same. So this is a random Chinese drop shipper that is just drop shipping stuff from like Alibaba or Temu or something. This is not going to be an actual flip. So we are going to not look at anything else that is hot touch on this list. So not that and not that. We're going to move on to Speedo. I've sold lots of Speedo products before, so I know that this, I know the brand is good to flip. Okay. Let's see, UV swim shirt. This should be pretty popular right now. I'm surprised that this is going on sale here in the middle of June. This is like the best time to sell this. All right, historically, I see 24, 28, I see 35. We'll run a couple numbers. Okay, if we can sell this for 28, what kind of profit are we looking at? And we're buying it for 13. No profit there. If we do it for 35s or anything, there's a little bit, but I think we'd be kind of lucky to get it for 35. It's been up there a few times, but usually it's more like 26, 28. So I'm going to pass on that. Not quite enough profit there. Move on to the next one. All right. I think is this that same listing? It's the same type of shirt. If not, we'll check the average price here. Okay, so it's usually going for between $19.75 and $34.25. Occasionally, it pops up there to like $39, but not frequently. We'll run this a couple different ways. Let's see if we sell this for 35. What are we looking at here? And we are buying it for $15.01. There is a little bit of money, so 35. How about this? I'll put this on my list because I do see it at that price point pretty often. In fact, it's often above that as well. It looks like for about like half of the week. So maybe like Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, it's at $19, and then Thursday, Friday, Saturday, it's at $35. That seems to be sort of what's happening for whatever reason. And then today it's 15. It's on a pretty steep discount. So I think if I was doing this myself, I think that I would probably pull the trigger on this and try to get that this sort of like 34.29. Let's see. Let me be a little bit more accurate. 34.29. Yeah, I mean, I think I'd still try for that, especially with us being in season. Might look at last year. What are we looking at here in July? Yeah, it's basically always done this. Where it's like a couple days cheap, couple days expensive, couple days cheap, couple days expensive, and it just kind of repeats over and over and over, all the way. It looks like it goes on clearance during fall, which is normal for this type of thing. But then by Christmas time, everyone has sold out and the price goes back up. So yeah, I think I would try to flip this personally. So I am going to put this on our sheet. All right, there we go. Okay, so we looked up this one. This is the exact same one, just a different size. If you guys want a rabbit trail and check that out, you are welcome to. I'm not going to take the cheap cop out and put two of the pretty much exact same item, just a different size on the sheet. So we're going to move on. Remember, we are not touching the hot touch stuff. So no, 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 no. And let's check Wrangler. We've sold a good amount of Wrangler. We sell a lot of jeans. Let's check this out. $25. And it's usually about 47. Yeah, let me see if it's actually profitable. 25.97. I do see a note that I want to mention. Some of you might already be asking this question in chat, and I will cover it here in a second. Ooh, okay, so 3.3 pounds, dimensions. Interesting. It's calling this large standard size. This would be one, I'm not going to put it on the sheet because not everyone will watch the video and they'll think like, oh, why didn't Nate put this on here? This is one where if you put this in a poly bag and you just folded it smaller, I am pretty confident that you can get your fees down. Yeah, if you could just get it below, I thought it was 12 inches. Maybe it's 11 inches. I need to refresh my memory on what the dimension cutoffs are, but that is a lot. $20 in fees for a pair of pants is high enough where I think I can affect it, because we've sold a lot of jeans before, and jeans should have about $12-ish in fees. So if you can change the fees and change it from $20 to $12, that is an $8 increase. So if I just put here, I'm gonna do some. We'll do this here. I'm just going to add $8 to our buy cost, or to our sale price, just to look at what it would be if we got that changed. So yeah, that would hit our parameters, but yeah, I'm not going to put it, but because it doesn't, you just have to ask Amazon to remeasure it. But I'll skip it for now, and we'll move on. Maybe it'd be funny if the other one was measured correctly. I've seen that a lot with clothing items, and it just has to do with how that first person folded their stuff. So this is a reminder, guys. Always fold your stuff as small as you can get it. All right, $25.97, and our average is $46.46. Yeah, the fees are different on this. By a couple dollars, the fees were different on this. Interesting. Yeah, I think, and you could probably, yeah, you can, oh yeah, this silly person. I'm looking at the dimensions right here in ASIN. This is over a foot by over a foot. So yeah, of course these fees are going to be high. You can definitely get those fees down. So this would be one. I'm not going to put it on the list, but definitely go check it out for yourself. All right, let's hop back to Keepa. All right, come on. We got to find something here. We got some Nikes. If you were recently gated in Nikes, I'm sorry. Yeah, it hit a lot of people. Let's see the spot foot kicks. Interesting. So this is usually, holy smokes. This is usually going for 300, 250 to 300. And this person is selling it for 150. Let's run these numbers. And then we're going to do a little bit of further research, because this is kind of a high-end flip. So 284.27. All right, so that would be profitable based on that 90 days. And it is selling. Interesting. Okay, now this is a third-party seller and kind of a higher end, a little bit more risk involved here. I'm going to click on the seller and see if I see any red flags. 81 positive, that's fine. So they've been around for a while. The spot for fits and kicks. Yeah, it's committed by each customer service. Yeah, I don't see any red flags here. They seem legitimate to me. For whatever reason, they're selling this for 154. What I'm going to do, I will add this to my list. However, I'm going to leave a big asterisk, because if you were to order this product or similar products, you are going to want to really double check that you are receiving the correct item in the correct condition. This would be one of those things where there'd be a decent chance that this comes with like the lid ripped off or something. And while you technically are allowed to rebox shoes, high-end Nike shoes where people are paying $300 for them, when someone pays $300 for a pair of these like fancy Nike shoes, they are expecting a nice Nike box. They're not expecting a box with the top ripped off. They're not expecting it to come in a poly bag, things like that. So when you get it, just double check, make sure everything checks out. I'll put it on the list because I don't see any reason to see that happening. It should come to you in normal condition. And then again, it's a judgment call, like, because you are allowed to sell it. You could put it in a brown box. There's a guy in Hustle Buddies that he makes these brown boxes where it specifically says, like, you open it up and it's like, oh, your box was damaged in transit and we've recycled it and blah, 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 blah. Let's see. Wow. There we go. Okay. Put it right down there. Boom, boom, boom. I'm going to put some asterisks. Check for match. Make sure they're not trying to rip you off or anything. Okie dokie. How many more do I need? We got 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh, was that the fifth? Sweet. All right. That was our fifth. I'll stop sharing here, and I'm going to pop in for some questions. That reminds me, hang on, I can't stop sharing there. I need to go back and check that toothpaste real fast to see. I'm just going to look on it on my screen. All right. If you guys, whoops, I almost stopped streaming to pull it up. If you guys have any further questions, let me know. I've got a couple more things that I can talk about while I pull this up real fast. I'm just checking that toothpaste that we looked at from a little bit ago and seeing if I can debundle it. So we were buying it as a 6-pack. I'm trying to see if I can buy it as a 6 and then sell it as a 1. Let's see. Here it is here. I didn't even notice that the listing had the 2 different versions of it. Oops, that's not the right one. This is the right one. Okie dokie. The listing is just for the 6-pack. I'll tell you what. So it doesn't have the multi-pack. It doesn't have like the single right here on this page. You may be able to find this. So what I would recommend is when I get on video, look this up for yourself. Look up the Pepsodent. See if you can find a single pack and see if it makes sense, because you're buying these for $1 a piece with that one that we found earlier. So the Pepsodent 6-pack is currently 6 for $6. If you can find the Pepsodent 1-pack and it's selling for $6 or $10, whatever, you can make a flip. But I'll let you guys do the extra legwork, and if anyone does the extra legwork and finds it, then there's your extra money. There's your prize for doing the extra legwork is you found a nice product. All right, let's see. Let me take some questions now. I'll start over here on Instagram. So we've got FBA Stay Focused. What is the best tool for RA? There's not really a whole lot of tools that you need for RA. So if you're like out scanning stuff, usually you're going to want some kind of scanning app. A lot of times we're just using the Amazon Seller app, honestly. If we do use a scanning app, ASIN Zen has a RA phone app that you can use, and it's great. So you can use that. You can also use, many of us use tools like either Inventory Lab or Scan Power. They're very similar tools. It's for our listing and for our like record keeping track of what we're buying, how much we're selling it for, all that stuff. Most of us are using one of those 2 tools, and both of those tools come with great RA scanning apps for your phone. So lots of options out there for like a scanning app, but that's really the only thing you need, because all of those are going to connect to Keepa and all that stuff, and you can't really look at too many things while you're just on your phone. So yeah, hopefully that helps. Let's see. All right, we're all good there. Let's check over here on Facebook. Any other questions? I need the link to Sourcing Camp. You got it. All right, here we go. This is for Colleen over on Facebook. There's a link to Sourcing Camp. All right, and anybody else, there's a QR code up there you can also scan, or if you need your links in YouTube or Instagram, let me know. Let's see. To get ungated in Speedo, can you use a combination of different variations, or do you have to buy all 10 of the same one? We've had success with getting different variations. I can't say that's necessarily exactly always going to work. Ungating is really the Wild West nowadays. Like, man, when we first started, it was one singular thing, a legitimate wholesale invoice with 10 units on it. And that was it. There was no like skirting around it. You can like, oh, I use a Kohl's receipt and it worked. Oh, I use this online invoice and it worked. Oh, I use this Amazon. There was none of that when I was starting. Now, Amazon accepts pretty much whatever. In fact, we've had not customers. We've had coaching students that in the past 60 days have gotten ungated by sending in a document, and that document was a blank PDF, and the title of the PDF was "Please close this request," and that PDF has been accepted as an invoice. So yeah, I can't tell you. I've had pretty good success getting ungated using like combining for 10 units. Some listings are they're gonna say 50 units. So sometimes your support agent is gonna say, oh, you have to buy 50. And again, sometimes I've had luck combining to 50, sometimes not. If you want it like 100%, then just do exactly what they say, but it's kind of the Wild West. So your mileage may vary. I think it's worth a shot going lower, but yeah. All right, let's see. Debbie over on Facebook. Nate, for those of us who bought the A2A Flips Challenge at the time it was running, I understand that we were supposed to get an invitation to join Sourcing Camp as a bonus from you. Yes, you should be getting an email shortly from Chris Grant or Nate McAllister, the other Nate, with your link to get into Sourcing Camp. And vice versa. Everyone who buys Sourcing Camp prior to doors closing is going to get full free access to the A2A Flips Challenge by Chris Grant and Saul. Okay, so really cool bonuses going in both directions. We just teamed up on that. All right, let me check over here on YouTube. I tried to ungate in the category home and kitchen with the espresso coffee maker. It just ungate only the espresso. So go back in. It'll work for both. Like if it worked for one, it'll work for both. Yeah, send it back in and reapply. There is nothing where a like specific product or a specific ASIN would only ungate part of it because, well, okay, let me rephrase this. If the espresso coffee maker that you use to try to get ungated, if it is gated by both the brand level and the category level, then you can knock out both. But if it was not gated as a home and kitchen, which I don't think home and kitchen is a gated category. It's been a long time since I was a beginner and had all those early gatings. I don't think home and kitchen is a gated category. So try to list it, see what it says, but you shouldn't be running into issues here. Victor, how many hours of training will this camp have? So there's going to be 30 hours of breakout sessions. And then I'm also adding in subsequent training. So there's 30 hours of sourcing. And I just made a post today in the sourcing camp group, like this is sourcing camp. Our focus is sourcing. However, I don't just want to leave you guys high and dry on all these other areas that I feel like are important. So I will be uploading a bunch of bonus videos throughout the next week and a half where I talk about like setting up parameters for your different tools or setting your budgets or goals, mindset shifts, so like different things like that. So 30 hours of sourcing. Plus, I believe the Amazon to Amazon Flips Challenge has about 20 hours of A2A stuff. So plus those 20, plus I'm going to say probably another 5 or so, maybe 10, depending on how long-winded I get of my extra like setting up tools and parameters and frameworks and mindsets and all that other stuff. So hopefully that answers your question, Victor. I will post, if anyone needs a link to sourcing camp here, let me post it in all three. So if you're just joining and you missed like the first chunk of this live sourcing video, the recordings of this video are saved on YouTube over here and our Facebook over here. Instagram is weird and they don't save our replays, so you can't watch replays over there. Come join us over in the Facebook group or the YouTube channel where you can watch the recordings. But we're doing these every single night. I will be back tomorrow night, same time, 8 o'clock EST. So it's 1 hour in the past, whatever time zone you are. I'm doing these every single night. Tomorrow is the very last one because on Friday we are starting sourcing camp. Sourcing camp is sort of like this, but on like mega steroids. It is just hours and hours and hours and multiple people. It's not just me teaching you. There's 13 different successful Amazon sellers who are coming in who are just going to source and let us watch over their shoulder while they're sourcing. Every single one sources in a different style. Every single one has different methods and tricks and tools that they prefer. I mean, some of the sellers, I mean, there's lots of them that use SellerAmp. We had that conversation earlier. Like, I don't know, probably half of them probably use SellerAmp. It's a pretty popular tool. And a bunch of others probably use RevSeller. A couple others use Ace and Zen. A couple others probably use nothing. So yeah, there's so many different flavors and styles. I say this all the time. There's a million ways to make $1 million bucks. So let's watch a bunch of different people who've all sold over $1 million cumulatively across their life. And my minimum criteria is they have to be doing at least $250,000 per year. So we've got a couple 6-figure sellers, a lot of 7-figure sellers per year, and actually a couple 8-figure sellers that are selling more than $10 million per year. I believe we have 2 that are coming to sourcing camp. So yeah, lots of very smart people, much smarter than me, much better at sourcing than me, and all of that. Tons and tons and tons of sourcing training. So if sourcing is a challenge for you, it doesn't matter if you're like a beginner. Well, all beginners struggle with sourcing, but even established sellers, we have a lot of 6- and 7-figure sellers who come to sourcing camp because they want to be around like-minded people. They want to learn from their peers. We are bringing in a group of your peers. That's the goal of this. It's not like a guru to a beginner. It's like, let's bring in a bunch of peers. Beginners are welcome to join along, and I will help you guys get caught up. I'll do some trainings just for the beginners, just so you guys can get caught up. But yeah, it's for anyone who just wants to get better at sourcing, who wants to focus on that. So check that out. There's a QR code up there. I've posted links in all of the different places that we are streaming this. I hope to see you guys there. It starts on Friday, which means that the doors close. In order to sign up for it, you have to sign up before Thursday at midnight, my time, because I need time to get everyone into sourcing camp on Friday morning and then prep for my sessions. I can't be there like answering a bunch of questions and trying to pull people in and trying to do sales and all that stuff. So doors close in just a little over 24 hours, about 27. Am I doing my math right? 27 hours from if you're watching this live video. Doors are closing. Once the doors close, they close. Sorry. But yeah, I hope to see you guys there. I hope you guys sign up. I'm looking forward to sourcing with a lot of you guys. Get out there, make a lot of money. Even if you don't go to sourcing camp, I hope that this taught you something. Amazon to Amazon flipping is very lucrative. It's very interesting. I like it a lot. I think that more people should be doing it. I think it's relatively easy. If you struggle with sourcing, A2A sourcing tends to be lower hanging fruit early on. All right. So hustle on, everybody. Go out there and